So yeah, I've been thinking a little bit about this and I think I have come up with a solution. However, I will probably take maybe 3 hours. I doubt this is going to be the one that I actually get it right, but oh well. Alright, my friends. The automation system is completely built. We still have a few remnants of things that were from previous plans here and there, but I will just deconstruct them. Hello there, I'm the Biz Manager and welcome back to Oxygen Not Included. Now, today my friends, we are going to continue building our dupe area where we are going to put everything dupe arts related, of course. And well, one of the most interesting things that we are going to do today is the renovation of our automation system over here. We need a way to better control the power plant so that it works accordingly to the fuel that we have. Now, we are also going to resupply our colonization rocket, and it does need resupplying. We only have a little bit of water left, and it's really hot water because it comes from the water world. So we need to fill this up with cold water to make up for that temperature, and well, to fill it up, because that's not a lot of water for these dupes. They do a lot of missions. They do need a lot of water. So let's refill this rocket, make sure it's up to snuff, so that then we can send it over. Holy Jesus, this is not what I wanted to happen. In any case, we are then going to send it over here, and well, we are going to take care of this bloody mess. Look at this. Disgusting. I know. That's fine. That's totally fine, my friends. We are just going to continue transporting some of this ice, putting it upstairs, controlling the temperature, blah 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 blah, all of those thingies that we have done in the past. And well, hopefully this time in this journey we'll be able to liquefy all of this ice and start the loop of transporting the water, turning it to steam, then it condensates, drops down, gets collected again, gets dropped again, and eventually all of this is going to be a ginormous steam chamber. Eventually. So, first things first, before I completely forget, and that is very prone to happen with me, I have the memory of a goldfish. As I often say, we are going to start by resupplying the rocket with water, and then after that is done, I'm gonna lose like 3 hours of my time just staring at this, trying to figure out... Joshua! No, it's Frank. Wait, what? Oh, a rocket just arrived and blasted Frankie with the exhaust. That's fine, it happens sometimes, don't worry about that. It wasn't Joshua. Every time I accuse Joshua, it's never Joshua. But when I don't accuse Joshua, it's always Joshua. In any case, once again, disregard that. We really need a better automation system for this power plant so that we can regulate the fuel that we have. Like, for example, right now we don't have a lot of petroleum. We do have a lot of natural gas, so it would be obvious that we would want to spend this gas first before we spend the petroleum. Makes sense, right? So that's what I'm going to try to achieve. But like I said, before we do that, time to refill this rocket, and let's do that right now. Oh, also, I almost completely forgot. We brought this rocket filled up with a bunch of lime and fossil, which probably has already been delivered to our industrial area. Uh-huh. Most likely. Nope, not yet. We are not there yet. This is the lime bin, and if it's not in here, it's because we haven't received it yet. Here we go, we are starting to receive the fossil, so the lime should be right behind it. Which means we are going to get 1 billion of steel going so that we can complete our statue over here. Alright, my friends, our rocket has been fully resupplied. We're just going to waste a little bit of water that got stuck in here, but that's totally fine. We can waste a little bit. We are not really hurting too much for like 10 kilos of water. I don't think that's going to be an issue. So this rocket is ready to go. Let's call in the crew, set the destination, and send it back into the freezing planet. There we go, orbit first so that we can drop a rover. Now, speaking about resupplying, I need to resupply these two rockets because they are like on the verge of no water as well. So time to I mean, they have been running for like I don't know, maybe 500. I don't remember when I built these rockets, but they have been running for like 500 cycles, bare minimum, with just one tank of water. So we are not going to complain, and we know that this design needs to be resupplied every once in a while, so if we just need to resupply it like every 500 cycles, I'm not even going to complain too much about that. So let me take care of that while I remembered, but still, once the dupes get in, we are going to launch these rockets. But well, my friends, with my rockets resupplied with water and with their missions on their way, I can now focus on something that probably is going to take me a little while. Yeah, the automation over here. So yeah, I've been thinking a little bit about this, and I think I have come up with a solution. However, I will probably take maybe 3 hours just to put it into reality. So just give me a moment. My friends, no joke, I've been staring at my screen for like 50 minutes when I finally came up with the solution to one of my first problems. I have many problems to solve, okay? And this is just a solution to the first one. 50 minutes. So, yeah, like, disregard the tremendous mess. Just like putting everything in its place is going to be complicated given the space constraints, but then the automation itself, very complicated. So, like my first idea here, right? What is this? This is a fuel counter. I really don't know how am I like going to integrate all of these signals, and the first idea I had was like I need a way to count how many green signals I have so that I can have different things happen. And well, this is the way that I came up to do that. This is a fuel counter. Each one is a pulse loop, right? So we are going to have a green signal come through here. This is going to activate this AND gate, which should be always either green over here on this side if we have fuel, or red if we don't, right? This is then going to trigger a pulse loop over here. These different filler gates are going to trigger these things at different times, creating like a maximum or 4 pulses per green signal. In here we are going to have like a counter for 4, a counter for 3, and a counter for 2, and then a counter for 1 as well. I forgot to put that one over there, but whatever. And then we are going to have these 4 signals, which pretty much are going to tell the Jesus, it's been so long. I've been thinking for far too long. It's going to tell the natural gas power plant what it should do, pretty much. Like for example, you can have like if we have 4, all of the power plants activate. If we have 3, like half of the power plants activate. If we have 2, let's say only 2 power plants activate. If we only have 1, the power plants will only activate in emergency mode. Like, you know, for example, yeah, like you can either do that with this or with 5 billion AND gates, okay? I rather go for this because it's far more compact than all of the quadrillion AND gates that I had to put in here, because yeah, I tried the AND gates and it was just too many. 2 hours, and well, at least we are making progress. We are making progress, my friends. Yeah, we already have the fuel counters for all of our fuel, which is really nice. Now, I've been thinking while I was mindlessly trying to Tetris all of these into place. I was like thinking, how can we use this information to help us out? Well, it's quite simple. We are going to use this information combined with AND gates and the information coming from the batteries to pretty much tell the power plant how it should behave. One battery is going to be emergency mode, like we are almost out of power, so go for it, use all of your juice. And the other batteries are just going to be the regular, low power draw, low power beam draw, medium power beam draw, high power beam draw, and emergency like 0% battery on all batteries. Everything must turn on power being drawn kind of thing, right? Like what determines this is like this one is at higher values than the other ones before it, and because of it, it's only going to activate a smaller number of power plants. And if those small numbers of power plants can meet the demand, cool. If not, the power is going to still being drained, which means that the other battery is going to activating more power plants, and so on and so forth. So yeah, now is a matter of combining this information plus this information and distributing the combined information to the individual power plants. And fortunately for me, I will not be using this thing. I was excited because I just don't have the space for it. Because we could use these things to technically make even more accurate choices, but well, the space restrictions don't allow us. Alright, my friends, 3 hours in, and this is what I have come up with. So, bear with me, because this is going to be a wild ride, okay? I have tried to explain this many times before, and I have bumbled my words so many times already. I doubt this is going to be the one that I actually get it right, but well. 2 units... no, esquece, corta. Yeah, I probably should explain this backwards. Corta, outra vez. Kill amount of... Corta. Começa de novo. The power was not being... God damn it. Começa de novo. Of natural gas, but esquece, corta outra vez, foda-se. Como é que eu vou explicar esta merda? Let's see. So, we already know the functionality of the fuel counter, right, my friends? And we want to combine these functionalities with the functionalities of the battery, which is monitoring the power drain of our grid, right? So, what I want to happen is quite simple. I want the power plants to activate according to the level of fuel that they have and the amount of power being drained. If we have a lot of fuel, we can maintain the low power, low amounts of power being drained from the grid, from normal operations, no problem. However, if more power is needed and the power plant is not being activated, I want the later levels to activate if we really need that power, right? Because it's better to burn through your emergency fuel than going into a blackout, okay? So with that in mind, this is going to be a little bit complicated, but not really. So, I want level 1, oh come on, don't run away from me. I want level 1 power drain to activate the power plant if we have a lot of fuel to maintain the power grid, right? So at level 4 fuel, we can activate level 1 power drain. However, if we don't have that fuel, we won't activate this power plant, let the other power plants pick up the slack, right? So we now have power drain level 2. We are going to check if we have 3 units of fuel. If we don't, well, let other power plants pick up the slack. Then we move to level 3. Things are getting into the red now. We will activate this thing to meet up with demand if we have at least 2 units of fuel. If we don't, well, other power plants will have to pick up the slack. But now we get into the level 4, and this is going to activate if we have 1 unit of fuel. And now this is where these OR gates will come from, because we want things to activate, how should I put it, backwards, alright? So let's say at level 1 we want to activate 4 units of fuel. At level 2 we want to activate 3 units of fuel or 4 units of fuel. At level 3 we want to activate 2 units of fuel or 3 units of fuel or 4 units of fuel. And at power drain level 4 we want to activate if we have 1 level of fuel or 2 levels of fuel or 3 levels of fuel or 4 levels of fuel. However, like as you are probably already guessing, you know, we are only going to activate the later levels should we really need to, and this way we will be able to even out our fuel consumption, because we are wasting natural gas, not draining all of these, natural gas from the thingy. It's overpressurizing the vent, and well, we are consuming as much from this as we are from petroleum, even though we don't really have a lot of that stuff going, right? So this should prevent the current situation from happening, because what should happen is the natural gas power plant should activate because there is a lot of fuel, right? 1, 2, 3, all of them should activate at any level. However, the other ones will only activate should we really need to, right? If we really have the power. However, in order to meet up with the demand of that power level, we need to activate all of the other power plants behind it, and that's why we have this AND gate, which is the combination of the bit that requires the power plus the fuel. And this AND gate goes into an OR gate, and this OR gate is the signal from all the other power plants from levels higher, because this OR gate won't activate unless level 2 is active, which once again won't activate unless level 3 is active, which once again won't activate unless level 4 is active, but will activate at level 3 if required, right? Even though level 4 is not active, and that will activate all the other power plants as well to meet up with demand. I'm sorry my redundancy, but I'm really struggling to explain how all of this works. I barely understand myself if this is going to work, so my friends, I have just burned through like pretty much 50% of my brain cells. The other 50% are reserved to putting this system into a Tetris mode for all of the other power plants. Here we go. Now, my friends, if you are just wondering, one of the few issues that we could get is, like, for example, if we get 4 pulses, we might activate some of the other thingies, right? We might activate the 2 pulse or the 1 pulse, right? If the counting ends at a green signal or not. However, that by itself is not a problem, because, well, if you think about it, if the level 4 is active, we have a lot of fuel, so activating the automation for level 1, for example, won't be an issue. Besides, the level 1 automation grid won't activate until the level 4 power drain is active anyway, so those power plants won't turn on regardless. Oh, another thing, my friends, what even makes more of a challenge out of all of this situation is the fact that I have to do all of these Tetris with the existent automation, because it's going to take the dupes like 20 cycles to build all of this. We cannot go without power plant for 20 cycles, right? So, yeah, all of this must be built on top of the existing automation, which is not exactly well set up to start with. So, another challenge, yeah. Alright, my friends, 4 hours in, and, well, this is the final result. Everything is set in place, finally. Like, usually at 4 hours, I am almost over with recording, and right now I'm just in the beginning. Yeah, yeah. Future me will have to finish this episode for certain, but, well, yeah, this is the only place where I actually had space to build all of this. Like, as you can see, I really had to Tetris my way into getting this to work. And I will have to snip and cut a lot of lines in order to make this work. But the good news is, we have in here the processing unit for the ethanol. In this one, we have the processing unit for the petroleum. And in this one, we have the processing unit of the natural gas over here. Freaking-tastic. And the awesome thing about all of this, my friends, is once everything is built, all we have to do is snip and splice things into place. We won't have to pretty much deconstruct anything, and we won't have any downtime. The second we are ready to go, we just need to make sure that we are really ready to go and all the wires are connected, but we can just, like, pretty much, we are going to, like, make use of all of the line, right? We are going to snip over here, no, we are going to snip in this direction, connect it over here, and this is going to be the line that brings the information for the power, right? In here we have the information for natural gas, the petroleum, and in here we have the information for the ethanol. But yeah, my friends, this is just absolute chaos, mayhem, and confusion. Like, yeah, 4 hours. Now, my friends, this episode might be a little bit longer than usual, and I'm sorry for that, but at the same time, 4 hours, okay? So please, give me a break. Alright, my friends, so it only took me 30 minutes, but I reorganized pretty much everything. Of course, it still is in the same place, but it's far more organized now, which is going to allow future me to troubleshoot this thing should there be any need for it. Given the complexity of this thing, I didn't like the way I had things set up previously. This is the exact same thing, it's just more organized. It's more compact, more organized, and far easier to read than the previous iterations, and so this is the final version, and this is what I'm going to let the dupes build. And now, after 4 hours and 30 minutes, I'm finally going to unpause the game. Now, my friends, this is going to take a considerable amount of time to achieve, so let's just give our dupes some time. They have all the time in the world to get it done. So, our colonization rocket has arrived, so let's go over here, drop a rover, and then go back into the planet. Select this platform, land the rocket, and then we shall continue with the ice transferring thingy. We will repair, or in this case, uncover all of these volcanoes. The volcanoes don't need to be repaired because they are not broken, they are just very messy. So yeah, let's dig them out and then continue putting a bunch of ice on top of them. And yeah, look at this. Minus 20 and minus 10, so we are nearly there when it comes to bringing a decent temperature over into this lower bottom of the map. Well, my friends, have you ever seen a block of solid glass? Because I haven't until this very moment. Yeah, things are starting to heat up a little bit. As you can see, things are starting to melt, which is pretty nice. We have water going all over the place, which is also pretty nice. Soon, these gases should stabilize. We should have a layer of polluted oxygen and oxygen over here on top. In the middle, we'll have the steam, and on the bottom, we'll have the carbon dioxide. We'll open up the map a little bit in an attempt to extract as much polluted oxygen as possible. Either that, or we'll just put a bunch of thingies to absorb the gases, the gas pumps over here, and we'll start extracting this very hot polluted oxygen and oxygen directly into space. Well, my friends, on the artifact front, even though that part is already completed, we are still finding new artifacts in space. This time we found the sandstone, which is pretty nice. Let's remove it and analyze it. Alright, my friends, so we already have a big chunk of our automation done. Well, a big chunk. There is still a lot of things to do, but as you can see, our dupes have been working tirelessly to build all of this. Now, the good thing is that we can already see the fuel counter in action. I'm going to slow down the game because this happens a little bit fast. So, what are we doing in here? We have these filler gates. These ones are like at the... Come on, so please, come on, game. You know it. There we go. These filler gates are in order to create a pulse, right? With the pulse loop that we have, these are set up at 0.5 so that the pulse happens quickly. And then we have these filler gates over here set at 1 second at a part so that there is enough time for the pulse to be felt by the counters, right? We don't want things to happen too fast, otherwise the game usually skips things. Now, we should be activating power at any moment. So we will see this thing. There we go. Bam. We have a 4 pulse, which means that we are full of fuel. Now, like I said previously, the fact that these two are also active don't really matter because they only come into effect should we go into emergency power mode or nearly emergency power mode, and at that point, given that the level 4 is also active, it wouldn't really matter because those machines would activate either way. But yeah, now we just need to replicate all of these settings for the other two fuel counters, and I am missing something in here. There is a wire missing. I probably deconstructed something I shouldn't. But yeah, my friends, now we just need to finish up all of this, set up the bits. That is going to be a nightmare. Align all the bits correctly, but okay, I'm certain it will be fine. And yeah, just let our dupes finish the construction. The processing centers are also almost done, so we should be able to put this system into effect soon, I suppose. Well, my friends, this playthrough is there is a lot of first in this playthrough. I never seen something buried within a solar panel. I can't even tell you what is there, but cool. Okay, moving on. Let's continue. Oh, and by the way, my friends, since we are already here, look at the amount of water we already melted. Beautiful, and look at all of this steam. Also very beautiful. I'm taking care of those pumps right now so that we can start taking all of these very nasty environment and putting it into space. Alright, my friends, over here on the stinky slash ice planet, we are now starting to put some of these gases outside, although a little bit slowly because we don't really have a lot of power production. Maybe I'll send some coal this way and establish a temporary power plant just to have enough power to run all of the machines. So yeah, pretty cool. Now over here on our base, well, we are pretty much done from what I can see. Come on, game. Thank you. Oh, yeah, we're just missing a few bits in here, which, well, we had to deconstruct a couple of things in order to get in here, so let's just build a couple of ladders so that our dupes can build these thingies. Oh, I will... Really? Let's deconstruct this instead. But yeah, we are almost done in here as well. I already set up all the bits. And would you look at that? We got some power being requested, and as we can see, for now we would only activate the gas power plants, not the petroleum power plants, because, well, we don't have the fuel according to our fuel counter over here, which, well, is correct. As you can see, these tanks over here are not full, so we would only activate the petroleum power plant in a level 2 power draw situation. Yeah, we are almost ready to splice and cut a couple of lines here and there and get this thing monitored by our new system. Alright, my friends. The automation system is completely built. We still have a few remnants of things that were from previous plans here and there, but I will just deconstruct them over time. Is that a piece of automation? Yes, it is. Alright, so let me just snip, build, and splice the remaining thingies, and by the next power request cycle, we should start using our new monitoring system. So, just give me a moment while I go snip, snip. Alright, my friends, here we go. We should have a power request at any moment now. All the wires are spliced together, and there we go. So, yeah, there we go. So everything now is working because we are at level 2 power draw, so we are activating these things because we do have the fuel for that. So we get them active, and the same over here. But because we don't have the ethanol, these are not being activated. And, well, the pipes are empty anyway, so they wouldn't be activated. But still, as we can see now, this thing is working properly. It's just that because the reaction time of the system, by the time we get to start anything, we are usually already at close to the level 2 power draw. But at the same time, as we could see, the power plants down here activated first. That meant that just the natural gas power plants were not enough to keep up with demand, and so we moved on to level 2 power demand, and so that activated the remaining power plants. Okay, pretty cool. So this should allow us to save up some of this petroleum for later, and we should consume more natural gas because, well, we have plenty of natural gas, my friends. Like, These ones are not yet filled up, but yeah, this is the gas that we are exporting from the other planet and from this thingy. So yeah, we have plenty of natural gas, so we can use it abundantly. Alright, my friends, so after observing this working for a little while, I came to the conclusion that everything is working precisely as I imagined it to be, which is pretty nice, you know, given the complexity of this thing, getting it right the first time. Yeah, like I wasn't exactly expecting it. But in any case, now that I have seen it work, I was going to try and give a final explanation of this thing, right? So, pretty much, everything starts with this wire. This is the master wire that kickstarts the entire system. This master wire is just a combination of all the wires from the batteries over here, right? Going through OR gates so that the signal can't travel backwards and activate all of these thingies. This master wire will activate the fuel monitoring system, right? We have these filler gates that are spaced 1 second at a time, and this is in order to create pulses using these memory toggles over here, right? These quick pulses will be sent towards these counters, like so, and these counters will monitor the level of fuel within our tanks. So in here, as we can see, we have a level 4 fuel. Now, it's perfectly okay to have level 2 and level 1 also active, because level 4 covers for all the situations that level 2 and level 1 would be necessary for, so it is okay to override these signals, right? So this information is sent towards the processing unit over here. This processing unit will combine this information with the information from the batteries. It will read the power demand, right, according to the battery states, and will combine that information with the fuel so that we can activate the power plants at level 1 if we have a level 4 fuel, at level 2 power draw if we have a level 3 fuel, level 3 power draw, level 2 fuel, level 4 power draw, which is emergency mode. We can activate even if we have just one level of fuel, but as we can see over here through these OR gates, the level 4 will override level 3, level 2, and level 1. Level 3 will override the other levels, so the fact that these two are active is perfectly fine. And then this processed information is then sent towards the respective power plant, activating the respective buildings to manage to respond to the power drainage itself. And once the batteries get completely charged, let me just wait a second for the game to save. Thank you, game. This wire will turn red, resetting the counters and the entire system. So oh, come on. Who made a mess? Bubbles. What? What? I failed to understand how Bubbles managed to trap herself in there. Wow. Okay. Rivaldo, please save Bubbles. I really, like my friends, I really have no idea how Bubbles got herself in there, in that position. There was no way she could, like, get in there in the first place that I remembered. But, okay. In any case, my friends, I think I made a good explanation of how this thing works. There is a lot of gates, but in the end, the result itself, right, it's nothing out of the ordinary, it's just to help us out managing our fuel quantities, and hopefully, in the end, we'll be able to accumulate a little bit of petroleum. How? Like... Okay, whatever, my friends, let's just get Bubbles out of there, I don't understand. Good news, my friends, we have already vacuumed most, and I would like to say most, of the polluted oxygen and oxygen from the chamber. In fact, we are even going to close this off for now so that more doesn't get in. There is still a little bit of that stuff going on all over the place. Now, I am building these temperature shift plates so that the steam turns into water before it gets an opportunity of being absorbed, so that this doesn't happen, you know. Of course, it's still not perfect, but as long as we are vacuuming most of this junk, I'm pretty happy. Eventually, we'll be able to pop open maybe this thingy And if the pressure in here is bigger than here, that's okay. If not, well, then the oxygen would just vent back into this chamber, and that would be counterproductive. But for now, we'll just have to wait until most of the ice that still remains melts away, and this chamber to stabilize a little bit, so that then we can also absorb most of this carbon dioxide. But well, my friends, when it comes to systems that we have set up a few episodes ago, how about we take a look at the rocket counter over here. Since we have built this system, we already have run these many missions, right? These are per order. These are the petroleum counters. From this part, these are the hydrogen counters for these rockets over here. So for example, this rocket has already run 6 missions, which are, you know, it's a decent number of missions under their belts. However, we have a clear preference, shall I say, rockets that run a few more times over here, with 10 missions on our mining rockets and 7 and 8 missions on our transportation rockets. So, pretty cool. Now, over here, we have our water cooling system, and finally we have controlled the temperature of this thing. We are now transporting water at a far decent temperature than it was a while back. We still have a remnant over here, as you can see, 30 degrees. The next time that we activate water over here, we are going to bring it at around 15 degrees, or in this case, yeah, 15 degrees. Pretty nice, if you ask me. No! God damn it, game, why do you do this to me? Well, we're back. Hopefully the game will stop with these almost regular crashes now. I think we had a crash per episode now, which is not so good. But oh well, now it's just a matter of me trying to remember the things that I have done in the past 10 minutes. Hopefully I haven't done a lot of things. Well, my friends, given the increased machinery that we have in our colony, we are in need of a couple extra operators. So the game decided to give us one, finally. We have Lindsay over here and Hassan. Hassan is an operator and a farmer with the innately stylish plus kitchen menace, and Lindsay is shriveled taste buds with irritable bowel. We are going to choose Lindsay simply because we don't care about the farming. And the lime, well, we don't really care about the lime either, because we have a bunch of that stuff with us already. So, Lindsay, welcome to the colony. Wait for your hat and your snazzy suit as well. Well, my friends, I'm happy to announce that we got rid of most polluted oxygen and regular oxygen. Like, there is only a little bit left, and once this chamber pressurizes, you know, all of this water turns into steam. Yeah, I don't think that is going to matter too much. So I think we can now stop with this, deconstruct these thingies. And then once we have a bunch of steam and we see where the carbon dioxide ends up, we'll go over there and we vacuum that out. But well, my friends, now that we have controlled the temperature inside of this chamber, it is time to bring back the auto sweepers and start cleaning out all of this junk that we have inside. We have 300 tons of iron. It might take a little bit of time until we clean it all out, but well, you know, it's better to start now that we have the temperature under control than later, and then we'll still have all of that thing left to clean up. So, oh well, let's get the last one, and then we can even start thinking about how to start, you know, collecting some of this iron, bringing it back home when the colonization rocket is not in here. We are still going to leave our dupes in here for a little while, at least for as long as we can, because, you know, the tasks that they are performing are vital. Okay, my friends, so over here we are building a second rocket platform. We are going to send one of our cargo rockets over here, platform 652. Okay, so let's go over here, select this rocket, call in the crew, change the destination towards the correct planet, and select the correct platform. And, well, Are we ready? We are. Just double check that we are completely resupplied. We are. So let's begin this launch. Send this rocket. It's going to take a little bit of time, but that's fine. That's fine. We have like 1 billion iron waiting over here. So I'm pretty certain that for like 2 or 3 journeys, we are only going to be transporting iron. 2 or 3, like more. Over 10, given that we can transport 27 tons, I believe. No, 32 tons of stuff. Yeah, 10 journeys just to transport the iron that we have at this moment. So, cool. Well, it would appear our rocket has arrived, so let's go over here, select, where are the refined metals, here they are. Let's select a bunch of iron now. Steel. Huh, oh well. And yeah, let's load up on 1 billion iron. It's going to be pretty nice. Iron is one of the resources that we actually don't have a lot. But that's something from the past, because now we are going to be transporting 32 tons of iron at a time. Alright my friends, so after observing it for pretty much the entire episode, I think I'm pretty happy with the new automation for our power plant. We have been able to build up a reserve of petroleum thanks to it, and we focused more on using our natural gas, which is pretty nice. This way we will be able to balance our fuel supplies in the end. Now, the ethanol is going to take a while. This thing doesn't exactly produce a bunch of ethanol very quickly. So, you know, it's more like another option should we run into some issues, right? Now, over on this planet here, I'm pretty happy with the fact that... Oh, okay. I'm pretty happy with the fact that we are now transporting iron out of this planet. And, well, this thing is almost there. Not there yet, but, well, it's far better than it used to be. Now we only have a small pocket of coldness, shall we say, over here on this corner. The rest of the map has been heated up to a nice toasty temperature, and we are already evacuating the chamber out of all its useful materials. Now we are out of coal, but don't worry, I already requested a little bit more, so our dupes should collect these interplanetary packets, and we should have this thing operational once again. There we go, my friends. 39 tons of iron ready to go. Is the crew on board? Yes, it is. So let's acknowledge the warnings. Send the rocket back into our colony and just rejoice on all of those goodies that we are bringing back with us. Hey friends, this is Future Manager. I'm here to let you guys know that I'm going to change the logo for the channel soon. Not yet, just to let you guys get acquainted with the idea, so keep an eye open for that. Also, we are going to have a small upgrade to our end screen. Both of those things were temporary, so I think it is time to do an upgrade to those small details. Now, back with Past Me. Well, my friends, this is probably one of the longest episodes I have ever recorded for this season. However, I have to say it is totally worth it. This thing is just tantalizing to watch. I love it. I'm pretty happy with the results that we obtained with this. So, well, let's just say it was totally worth it. And I'm also pretty happy with the results that we are getting in this planet. We are closing in on the objective of turning this planet into a ginormous sauna. At least we already melted everything and we turned it into water. Now we are on the process of heating up this water so that it can all turn into steam and create a ginormous pressure inside of this chamber. That is going to take a little while, but oh well. And yeah, my friends, we are also closing in on getting the Home Sweet Home objective done. Our area dedicated to the dupe arts is pretty beautiful, if you ask me. I enjoy the selection of art from Nisbet for this area, so let's all thank her for her fantastic job. But my friends, with all of that said, I hope that you have enjoyed this episode and that you are enjoying the series so far. If you are, please consider subscribing. That was rude. Please consider subscribing and help the channel grow. But in the meantime, this is the Base Manager signing out. Bye bye!